So today we're going to be focusing on the Capital Projects Fund. What that is specifically non-enterprise projects, commonly referred to as governmental projects. What those are projects that are managed by Public Works, Parks and Conservation Resources, Real Estate Management, Safety and Emergency Services, departments like that. And it consists of projects like roads, bridges, drainage, beach nourishment, park development, facilities, radio towers, fire stations, things of that nature. What it excludes is solid waste, utilities, and airport projects, which were actually discussed during the departmental budget information sessions. The Capital Projects Fund is primarily penny funded, but it does also include other funding sources, specifically tourist development tax, which funds our beach nourishment program, and a 9-cent local option fuel tax, which funds our ATMS projects. And again, it's a 6-year plan that's updated annually. The first year, FY22, must be balanced. The outer years are just a plan, and they will be updated annually during the budget cycle. Our next slide is a graphic that demonstrates the funding sources of our FY22 proposed plan. This is only FY22, and you can see that we are estimating $213.7 million in activity for the first year of the plan that must be balanced as part of the approved budget. As you can see, penny is the dominant funding source in this capital projects fund at 87.7%. We also have grants at 9.2%. You can see your 9-cent local option fuel tax, which funds the ATMS projects. Specifically, what that is a 1-cent levy that was started in 2007 to fund the ATMS projects, and it's in effect until 2026. One of the things that we did want to note about that 9-cent local option fuel tax is that the revenue is driven by gallons consumed, not by the price of a gallon of gas. So if gas goes up, your revenue doesn't go up. If it goes down, it doesn't go down. It's based on how much gallons are consumed within the county. The tourist development tax is another funding source at 0.8%, and that funds your beach nourishment. And then finally, we have other revenues and fees at 1.8%. And what that consists of is things like transfers from other funds, multimodal impact fees, and private contributions.
Question real quick. On the $187 million for penny this year, seems, and again, doing rough calculations, that it should be around $90 million a year if it was averaged out. So are these projects that are just have been planned and maybe not implemented, and we're going to have a heavy year this year as far as implementation of penny projects? Just maybe a thought on that.
Yes, that's actually using fund balance also. So really what that correlates to is the expenditure side, because we have to be balanced. So that's an accumulation of penny and new penny revenue.
Okay.
It's just that, yes, this year is that they're predicting a heavy year.
Yeah. Okay. So it really, with this budget, we will have had accumulated, what, 2.5 years, 2020?
We started January 1st of 2020.
And this goes through, obviously,
But
September.
of course, we had fund balance in the penny from penny 3.
Okay. All right.
And yes, there are still ongoing projects from penny 3 being finished up.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So you can see that penny is the major funding source. And so what is penny? The penny for Pinellas is a 1% local government infrastructure sales surtax. It's been in effect since 1990 for 4 sequential 10-year periods. Most recently, it was approved in November 2017 with 83% of the vote, and was approved for a period January 1st, 2020 to December 31st, 2029. Within the spelled out in the interlocal agreements with the cities was countywide investments, and what those are programs where we allocate a certain percentage off the top of the penny revenue. So for example, 8.3% is going to be allocated to economic development, capital projects, and housing. 3% is going to be allocated to jail and court facilities, and again, that's off the top. That's before the county and the cities get their distributions. Once that amount has been taken off the top, per the interlocal agreements, the county gets 51.75%, and the cities get 48.25%. And that distribution is based on population. So previously, we had a slide showing you what funds the $213.7 million that we have planned. This slide is showing you what we're going to spend it on. So you can see transportation is clearly our largest activity that we'll be spending it on in FY22. You can see public safety, physical environment, et cetera. One of the things that's important to note is the countywide investments are reflected here in economic environment and human services, which is why they're larger than typical. For a more detailed view of what we're going to be spending that $213 million on in FY22, we've included in your backup what we refer to as a project budget detail report, which is basically one project per page, gives a description, budget by year, funding source, task, design and construction, start and end date. So included in your backup are those documents. And we did break them up into 5 separate documents. The first one is economic development and housing, 8.3%. And what that's going to be is that first set aside, that 8.3%. The second one is courts and jails, 3%. It's going to be the courts and jails at 3%, so you can look at it holistically. Third, and probably most importantly, is the county penny budget detail report, and that's going to be your county penny projects. So if you wanted to read up on any specific project, that's where you're going to look. And then lastly, we broke out coastal management and ATMS because they had separate funding sources, and they're actually tracked separately, and we wanted to isolate them for you so you could digest them separately. Next, I just wanted to give you an update on the forecast. The capital fund forecast has been updated with revenue projections. It does include several new projects for this year. It was updated with the department's budget submissions for FY21 estimate and FY22 through 27 proposed plan. Again, it includes the new projects, and it is balanced for FY22, which is necessary to proceed with the proposed budget. And then lastly, before I hand it back to Jackie, we just wanted to review the new penny-funded project request with you to let you know what has been added to the proposed plan. First, just to give you an idea of the process that we go through every year. Every year,